Alright, Chapter 6 is creating, editing, and formatting documents using Word. Microsoft Word is a word processing application. Many of you know you can use it for typing documents like essays, letters, things like that. But there are also themes that you can do for things for like agendas and resumes and things like that. And in this chapter we're going to go over things. It starts on page 157 of the book. After this chapter, we're going to do things like create and edit new documents, insert, delete text, symbols and special characters, spelling, grammar, find, replace, move text around, insert bullets, numberings, format text using font options like bold and things like that, as well as size. We're going to change paragraph alignments, indent, spacing, choose a style set and apply styles, and create a new document from a template. So the first video is going to go over on page 158. The first red heading is creating and editing a new document. And there's a lot of typing in this, so some of the video will just be me typing, but you'll see how we go through the book and do that. So to start off, I'm going to open up a new Word document. And you'll see here that the main screen for Word comes up, and we're going to click on a blank document because we're going to start a new one. The very first part, the insertion point, the flashing cursor, we're going to type in social bookmarking. And it says, notice that the extra space is automatically added below the text before the next line. We're going to type in the information on page 159, which is a bit of a paragraph. Notice that as you get to the end of the line, Word automatically word wraps, and it's going to go to the next line. So I'm going to type that in real quick. Alright, now that all that's typed in, I want you to type in TEH and push the enter bar. You'll notice that Word auto-corrects that to be the instead of TEH that we accidentally typed. It'll be the. Also notice below the word bookmarklet, this red wavy line, it just indicates that the word is not found in Word's dictionary, and it could mean that it's a misspelling error. And you can backspace over the words and correct it as you notice it, or you can also right click on it and change it if you'd like to. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but for now we're just going to leave it as is. I'm going to do a little more typing. Okay, a few things to notice in that as we did it. Notice that I mistyped A. You can rewind to see that as a lowercase a, and it automatically capitalized it to A. And you can also hover over this autocorrect and do that undo automatic capitalization if it was intentional, but in this case it was start of a sentence, so we do want to have it be capital. Also notice that we typed in 1/2 with a 1/2, and it automatically take it into fraction format. And also did the same thing with first. We had 1ST, and it automatically takes it up to the first like we're used to seeing. You also have a misspelled word here, so I'm going to right click on it and use the autocorrect to cite. So the fractions and excuse me, the fractions and superscript and things like that are part of the auto format feature, which changes things like quotes and hyphens and hyperlinks to the way that normally that they would want to be like first. And for instance, if we had a hyperlink and you typed it in, it would to a website, it would automatically make it a link that you could click on. I have another misspelled word here, so we're going to right click and fix that too. Alright, we're going to go ahead and save this by clicking on Save on the Quick Access toolbar. That's the QAT abbreviated in the book, and that's this little toolbar right here. And we're going to click on the little disk. And we're going to click on Computer and Browse. And we're going to save this into the book uses, if you have a flash drive that you're saving to save it in a folder called Chapter 6, but I'm just going to create that on my desktop. I'm going to do new folder for Chapter 6. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to save this as 6.1-social media project Justin Smith. I'm just using that format like the book has. That is step 12 on page 160 if you're following along. And we're going to go click save. And now that document is saved and it's given, you should see it's given the time, or excuse me, given the name. Alright, now we're going to place our insertion point at the very beginning of the last paragraph that started a study by marketing. We're going to click there to put our insertion point. You can see the flashing cursor. We're going to type Experian Hitwise space, and with our insertion point still here at the first of that, we're going to delete a study by. So since our mouse or our insertion point's there, we're just going to push the delete key until we get to study by. Then we're going to add an open parentheses, and it wants us to put a marketing company in parentheses. So at the end of the Y, we're going to click our insertion point and close the parentheses there. And then it wants in step 14 on page 161 to type in after that, conducted a survey of frequent web surfers, and we're going to leave that sentence, found that half of frequent web surfers, etc. We're going to go back, position the insertion point just left of the 1/2, so right there. Press the delete key, and we're going to remove 1/2 of frequent web surfers. So we're just going to keep pushing delete. And we're going to type in, found that 1-half use social bookmarking site. And we're going to do, we're going to replace the first with just the word first. So again, we're going to put our insertion point to the left of first and just push delete until all that's gone and type in first. Now we're going to position the insertion point below the last paragraph and type your first and last name. Again, just since that's how the book has it, you just click down there, type your name. And now we're going to click save, and notice that now that we've already saved this document, when we click save, it's not going to ask us where we want to save it. It's just going to overwrite that other document. So that is the first creating and editing a new document in Word of Chapter 6. The next video will go over the next topic starting on page 162, which is inserting symbols and completing a spelling and grammar check.